Hello, Louisville. Guess who's coming to dinner? Hello, Louisville. Guess who's coming to dinner? We're back on a Friday afternoon. Thank God it's Friday. Hope everyone had a safe week. Everybody that didn't get their shot went and got their shots. I think we're doing much better with the COVID vaccinations right now. You know, it's really good for us to get to a better point than where we were, because we were locked up in the house, quarantined. And even though if you've gotten your shots, you still have to wear your mask. You still have to social distance. You still have to do all those things until everyone in this country, in the world, has gotten vaccinated. All right. So now I know you're saying, Janice, well, who is coming to dinner tonight? And what's on the menu? Well, tonight my very special guest is the newly elected state representative, Miss Pamela Stevenson. Hello, my sister.
Hello. I am so excited to be here. Oh, I mean, I love your spunk. I love coming to dinner because I'm hungry.
And it is dinner time.
And
Absolutely.
I just love seeing women who are about it. So
Oh,
thank you.
wow. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I wanted to find out just who is Miss Pamela Stevenson. And this is your platform, because I want you to tell us all about yourself, because you got a story to tell.
Thank you.
No,
Well,
her story.
her
Women's history.
story.
Her story. You almost came to have to say her story.
Her story.
Her story month. Women's
Yes.
Month. The
Yes.
floor is yours.
Well, I was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. My
Okay.
mom was one of 15.
Okay.
My father has three siblings, and we were raised on 40th and River Park,
Okay.
and went to Shawnee Brown School.
Me too.
You went to Shawnee or Brown?
Shawnee. I
Oh, okay.
graduated from Shawnee High School.
Yep.
Okay.
I went there for elementary and junior high,
Okay.
and then went to the Brown School.
Okay.
And on an ROTC scholarship, I went to Indiana University in Bloomington and stayed there and went to law school.
Okay.
And after law school, I joined the military for 27 years. And
Wow.
we were just very blessed. Like we lived a number of places.
You
And
lived overseas?
overseas, Germany, England, Italy, Kuwait,
Ooh, you lived in
Bosnia,
Kuwait?
Africa.
Wow.
And it was great for my kids. I have two children.
Okay.
They're adults.
Okay.
And married 39 years.
Okay.
And
Wonderful.
we just traveled the world representing America.
That's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So what made you want to run for office in Louisville, Kentucky, for the state?
Well, here's the thing. When I traveled around the world representing America,
Right.
the thing that military people talk about always
Okay.
is, where are you from? That's the first question.
Right.
Where are
Always.
you from?
Yeah.
And when I would say Kentucky, I get one or two answers. You don't look like a hillbilly.
Oops.
Or they would say, they got black people in Kentucky.
You're kidding.
Mm-hmm. So I would pay attention to the state I was in, the city I was in. And what I discovered was they didn't have anything on us. We have the people, the heart to get things done. And if they had a solution, they would try to sell it to us. So I'm thinking, is it the perception of Kentucky? That's not the reality of Kentucky. So when I complete my service, I'm going to go back home and work to elevate the state of Kentucky so that all Kentucky families can thrive. Now, here's how it works. Whenever you hear about this is just one example. Whenever you hear about these large corporations that are looking for a headquarters, by the time they announce that they've already done like 2, 3 years of research. And
Right.
Kentucky never gets on that list because of all the lists that we're at the bottom of.
Right. Oh,
So,
the other list that we're at the bottom of.
right,
Okay.
right.
Education,
Education, uh,
health.
violence, and
Oh, violence. Yeah.
transportation, how to get around the city. Is it
Okay.
walkable? What's the medium income? Those type of things.
Okay. Okay.
So
Gotcha.
GLI, the Chamber of Commerce, does a good job.
Right.
But when they hear that a corporation is looking for a place to land, they try to wedge themselves in.
Right.
But mostly they skip over Kentucky because of a perception.
Right. Right.
So that cost us money, jobs, and everything else.
Okay. Let me interrupt here. So a lot of times they don't think that we have the adequate workforce that they might need.
Yes,
Is that the
that's
perception?
it.
Okay. Okay.
That's it. When you show, when you have numbers, and I don't know what the numbers are, but they're low. People that graduate from high school, people that graduate from college,
Right.
and they look for a certain demographic, and if we don't have it, we don't even make the list.
Right.
So I want to raise the perception of Kentucky, and I want all Kentucky families to thrive. So when someone thinks I need to find a place to move my corporation, they're like begging us to move here
Right. Right.
instead of not even thinking about us. And
Well, that's a heavy lift right there,
mhm. Well,
but it can be done.
it can be done. And I am shocked. I've learned a lot of things, but I'm shocked that places in rural Kentucky don't have running water or portable water. And I was talking to one of my colleagues, and I said I was concerned about that. One of my other state rep, and
Hmm.
he says, "Why? You live in Louisville." I said, "But I am for Kentucky,
Yeah.
and if we can put a man on the moon, we can get portable water through all parts of this state and broadband."
Right.
Because if
And
you
broadband.
know broadband is the wave of the future, and we know
Right.
it is because COVID has showed us it is,
Yes. Yes.
then you need to get ready and make
And
sure that
everybody
everybody
needs
has
to be
access.
connected.
Right. And Kentucky would be at the top of the list of broadband capabilities for corporations and families, especially if we do it in a way such that it's free or low cost. Like
Right.
no doubt that you can get in the furthest corners of Kentucky, they have internet connection.
Okay. In the
Yeah.
Appalachian regions, they probably do
Yes.
have
That
internet. Okay.
and sometimes it's sort of spotty, but we've got the wherewithal to make sure that our children have what they need to compete in the 21st century. There's
Okay.
no there's no catching up. I mean, if you stay behind or if you don't take a hold of this, then 100 years from now, we'll still be playing catch up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when
We
they
don't
have
want
the
to be
next
behind.
pandemic, we'll be dealing with these same issues: social injustice, no internet. How do you teach over the internet?
Right.
And we just need to resolve them now. The good thing about the pandemic, if there's some goal to be mined, is we now know where we have to go,
Right.
and we just need to
Everybody
go there.
everybody knows what their shortcomings are.
Yeah, yeah.
If it didn't teach us anything, it taught us exactly what our shortcomings are. If anything should happen, I mean, it didn't have to be a pandemic. It could be a environmental catastrophe that would keep us in our homes or something,
And the
and
only
so
thing,
that we have to adjust.
yeah, and the only thing about this, the only thing about COVID, the pandemic, is the longevitiness of it.
Yes.
That we have short attention spans, and we have hurricanes and volcanoes and all type of every year California burns.
Oh, every year. Yes.
So we sort of become blind to those things.
Right.
So we got shook up with this COVID.
Right.
Now I saw this little cute cartoon, which I really like. Um, Two dogs were walking down the street, and one dog said to the other dog, "What did the humans do? They all have muzzles on."
Right. Look, they're in
It-
trouble.
yeah,
They must be in trouble.
exactly.
That's a good one. That's a good one. They've got muscles on. All right. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah, we are in trouble. I mean, no fault of our own. It's just a freak of nature. But we knew that pandemics were possible.
right. They
So
knew a
it
year
was
ago.
not, pardon.
This one was no surprise.
Well,
We
they
knew a
were
year
saying it
ago.
was coming. Yeah,
Right. They've been
they were
saying it.
saying it was coming.
That's why President Barack Obama set up the pandemic. It's not called the pandemic office, but the pandemic office in the White House
Right,
to deal with issues like this, to send people all over the world when he hears something strange is happening with pigs, go over
right,
there and see.
right,
He built up that infrastructure so that we would have a large response time.
right. Absolutely.
And so it's not that, there used to be a commercial when I was growing up that said, you can't fool Mother Nature. It was about butter or something.
Right,
Well, you can't fool Mother Nature.
right.
And the way you deal with that is in your response.
Okay.
And how we respond is going to determine how far we go.
Yes. So now that you came back to Louisville, ran your election, won your seat, so here we are. So this was January was the first session. You just getting ready to finish up your first legislative session. Let's talk about that and what was going on and some of the things that we're interested in, like naturally the no knock law, and we're going back and forth about that.
Mhm.
Um, how the school system thing that they want to really kind of take the credits away from public schools. And is there anything else along, and you can touch on all those things. Is there anything else that we should be focusing on? So we might need to be, your constituents can get behind and send letters of support. Let us know what we need to do, what we need to know about.
Well, here's what I will say: elections matter.
Right,
We're at a critical point where if we are to regain any level of leverage, not even majority, but leverage,
right,
then we must start now.
right,
This is 2021 is not a year off. It's a
right,
year preparing to
right,
make sure that when we go to wage war in the battlefield of voting, that
right,
we win. Now,
right.
this year, we lost 13 seats, 13 Democratic seats. I'm a Democrat. We lost 13 Democratic seats.
Oh wow. Mm,
So now we have there are 75 Republicans and 25 Democrats. They have a super majority. They can override vetoes. They can pass any bill they want. They can change all the rules. They can do whatever they want. And they have been.
yeah. Well,
So when
that's
people,
their plan.
so when people ask me what happened, why are we all these bad bills happening? I say
Hmm.
elections matter. It's not enough to vote. My vote is not enough. Now I've got to get other people to vote. I got to knock doors. I've got to find something I can do consistently so that when we open up the ballot box for next 2021, 22, that we
Right,
have a shot at regaining some of those seats. And it starts now.
right,
If we wait, we're going to get the same thing we've gotten today.
right. So we need Stacey Abrams come up to Kentucky, huh?
Mhm. Exactly.
For real.
We need to figure out how we got where we are today, come up with a plan where we all coordinate and move in the right direction. And I'm talking about not just for elections. I am talking about in our communities, in our neighborhoods, that all the people that are doing great things, great
Right.
organizations doing great things, great churches doing great things, great people doing great things, that we come together and create a plan of where we want to see Louisville, and then we implement that and everybody does their part.
Okay, now, because you are a state legislator, I think my thought is that maybe, see white folks in rural areas have not had a lot of interactions with black folks.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I remember Stacey Abrams saying that she did when she was running for the governorship. That she went to all those small little counties or cities that had been overlooked and sat down and had conversations with people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, something. I mean, that's going to take time and energy, but that's the work that has to be done. Am I not correct?
Right. And the thing is, this is all about this is, and let me be clear, I'm in the realm of legislation, being in the what you as a constituent can do.
Right.
So
Okay.
I'm not campaigning. I'm
Okay.
just telling you what you can do now.
Okay.
And it's going to take all of us. It really is going to take all of us to do what needs to be done. Like I can write bills, I can write laws, but I can't. If everybody use their circle of influence, you can let us know what it is you want, and we can get
Right.
it done.
Right. Right. Okay. So the community itself has to galvanize. We
Yes.
have to come together. We need to, as they say, old folks say, we need to come to Jesus meeting.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and every group, whoever's what, put on the table what it is that is important, has importance to us, and
Right.
then work from one uh, to achieve one goal at a time. Let's work on this one first. Let's get out and mobilize all over our community to get the word out, because a lot of times I think it's we suffer from a lack of information, even though we shouldn't, because we're some television watching folks.
And isn't it weird with all the new things we have? We've got cell phones, we've got
Right,
earbuds, we got
right.
this, we got that, we got the internet, and the richness of the information that we have is not the same. We
No,
still don't know.
no, and the validity of it. That, like, now
That's
we're
worse.
dealing with what is the truth.
Remember when Walter Cronkite was on TV on
Oh
Sunday
yeah,
nights, and if he said it, it was gospel.
it was gospel. Absolutely, absolutely. But we've had such a an atmosphere of, I don't even know if there is a word to call the atmosphere. To me, for 4 years, we've been walking around holding our breath.
Yeah, because I know on the 20 after the current president was sworn in,
Right.
it was
The
quiet.
inauguration. Oh,
It was just
look.
quiet. And
And
I'm like,
I'm tempted to write in and say, please don't even say his name. Don't give any more air to it, cause that's what happened the first time anyway. All of it, you gave them free advertising on TV saying it's a news conference. It wasn't no news conference. You know, so let's stop breathing air into that balloon. Let's let the air come out of that balloon,
yep,
because we've got a lot of things going on in this country, a lot of
a lot of
news.
good things. Yeah, a
You
lot of
know,
good things.
yeah, a
And
lot of good
this
things.
is our moment.
Right,
Like we black folk have been saying for years, cops are stopping us, this is happening. But no, because it wasn't their experience. Like cops wouldn't do that.
right.
And that's what the way we are as humans. Cops wouldn't do that because it wasn't your experience until they saw George Floyd.
They had to see it.
Right. And they're like, oh my gosh, he's killing him. And they're letting him.
Yes,
And then all of a sudden, the whole world is in one conversation:
right,
social justice
right,
for all people.
right. Because it's happening all over the world. It's not just in the United States or in Louisville. It's in England. It's in
Italy,
Iran. It's in
Germany,
Italy. You
they had,
name it.
I mean, hearing people with accents say
Right.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. That was deep. Yeah.
Yeah, so now we have an opening. The young folk, the protesters have created an opening for us to be heard and for us to take out of the systems the social injustices in the systems and replace it with what we do best as Black women. We take care of everybody, and we always have.
Right.
From the times of slavery, where we took care of our families, and then we went into the master's house and took care of that family. We
Right.
are expert at taking care of the oppressed.
Of
Uh,
nurturing.
mhm,
We're we're
yes,
we're experts at the nurturing process.
that's right. Just like in Alabama, when the Black women in Alabama decided that they were not send a pedophile to the Senate and
Right,
got behind Doug Jones. They didn't have a press conference. They
right.
just came together, came up with their plan, implemented their plan, and no one knew until after the election. See, that's the power. And a piece of legislation I'm particularly proud of. Um, you know, February is Black History Month.
Right,
March is Women's History Month.
right.
So Rep. Attica Scott and myself, we sponsored a resolution to make the last day of February the day to honor Black women because we're both. And it passed.
Oh, wow. Well, wonderful.
Yeah. And the way we put in there to honor Black women is to honor the women in your life.
Right,
Go
right.
to your communities, go to your churches, and honor those women in honor of all that we've provided to America and our community.
That's one of the things I put out in a promotion. I told people just honor a woman in your life.
Mhm.
You know, she might be your girlfriend, she could be your grandmother, she could be your mama's best friend, but
She
honor
could be
somebody.
the cashier at Starbucks, and you
Right.
walk up and you smile and you say,
And she
"Thank
knows
you."
your name.
Yes,
And she makes you feel good every day just because she speaks to you and says your name.
that's
I
right.
mean, it's the little things. And all of this, to me, is about, in order to change people's minds, I'm going to call you Pamela.
Yes, that's
Look,
good.
in order to change people's minds, we have to change their hearts.
That's it.
I
And
mean, and
we are,
that's and then going out into, like I said, these rural areas, most white folks don't know that they don't like us. Somebody told us
and
they didn't like us.
yes, and here's what I'm finding out. When I was in the Middle East,
Okay.
I couldn't say, "Look, they don't appreciate blacks nor women," and I had to get my job done.
Right.
So I had to find a way to connect with them.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. They want the same things that we want. They
Yeah.
want their families to thrive. They want their children to be healthy. They want to make a difference. They want their life to matter. And when we talk about those things, we got things done.
Okay. Okay.
But if I wanted to talk about the things that we disagree upon, there's always going to be disagreements. But let's not let the disagreements stop us from getting anything done. Let's
Right. Getting the
separate
work
it
done.
out.
Right. Get the
We
work done.
know we're never going to agree on this, but
Right.
we can do good things with the things we do agree upon. And we have this fantasy that somehow we should always agree. I've been married 39 years and we don't always agree, but we know how to work it out.
Okay. Jack, you hear that? Oh, I had to tickle my husband. We may not always agree, but we work it out. That's what marriage is. Working it out.
And
So
that's,
tell me now, what is it? Okay, what has been happening in this last session? What have we come? What has gotten accomplished or passed or is left on the floor that is of concern to us?
well, what's of concern is we continually suspend the rules to push through legislation that hasn't been well thought out nor presented to the public for their comment. Like we work for the public, and anytime you can suspend the rules so you can get something through without anyone being able to comment, that's a problem.
Wow.
That's not the way our democracy works.
No.
So we have some bills like Senate bill, don't get me to say the names, but the bill where if you say something derogatory to a police officer, you could get arrested.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
because if the police officer is there, I would imagine there's some heated temperatures going up anyway.
Right.
So the thing to do would be to train police officers how to de-escalate the
Right.
system. Now, a lot of them know how to do that. I want to continually say there are a lot of good cops, a lot of good police officers. But what we must do is not have what happened to George Floyd continually happen over and over and over again, and people blindly say it doesn't happen. No, it does. I had to teach my son how to drive white black. No mom should ever have to teach their child how to get out of a situation from people who are there to serve.
It's hurtful just to think about you having to have that conversation,
Yeah,
because I mean that's a moment that is actually a true moment of life and death for your child.
right. And it's so I always have to say this because sometimes we forget. There are good police officers, and this would be of use to them too. They're part of a system where the bad cops are supported.
Right,
The thin blue line.
right, right.
So I'm not too happy about um, that bill.
Did that bill pass?
Yes,
Okay, but Governor Bashir has to sign off on that bill, doesn't he?
yes, he does.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Now
they
he'll
can,
veto it, and then
and
if that's
they'll
not
override it.
right, and that's why elections matter.
Ooh, merciful. Oh Lord. Okay. Okay. What else you got for me?
Yeah.
That's that's
So
that's a hard pill to swallow right there.
yeah.
Hard
Now
pill to
there are
swallow.
some good things that have happened.
Okay.
They have put forth. Well, let me talk about one more bad thing: the school
Oh,
voucher bill.
oh yeah, right.
Let's defund the public school system. Rather than put money into the public school system, make class sizes smaller and do
Right.
things so all children can learn. They've set up a plan, a bill where they could take 20 up to $25 million and put it in these private accounts for people who don't even have to be, um, I don't want to say approved, but background checked, so that they can use that money in other schools. And they keep saying it's not a charter voucher system, and it is.
And so that's a system that has some oversight or no oversight.
It has some oversight. It has some, but it's set up. It went through quickly, and we really don't know how it's going to land. Now, one of the representatives, Rep. Bojanowski, she actually stood up on the floor and she said, "For every year, this is the amount of money that you've put into the school system. You didn't do books this year. You didn't do this last year," and she listed it for them. This
Right.
money was taken out of the public school systems. Our kids haven't had new books for however long, it was years.
Right.
And now you want to take this money and give it to people to go someplace else? She said, I disagree. And we disagree. And we voted against it.
Right.
And we were outvoted.
Right. Okay. So this is gonna do the send it to Bashir. He vetoes it. Send it back. They override it.
Yeah.
But now some of these laws can be contested in the legal
Yeah.
system.
Yeah. Some
Okay.
of them will be. Like
Okay.
we had a couple tonight that might be. So someone said there was a bill they wanted to get through tonight in one day. So they suspended all the rules. And one of the rules they suspended was part of the Kentucky Constitution. So I'm sure that's going to show up.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, that you cannot. The apparently the Kentucky Constitution says you must read all the bills 3 times. So
Mm,
if it's in the Constitution, you have to do it. You can't just say we waive that.
yeah. No, that's a part that's in the Constitution. That
Yeah.
it's something you have to do. Okay. I don't think they have much regard for constitutions anymore. I
Well,
mean, we're
let's
just
start with
going towards
January the 6th
okay,
and
but
the
going
insurrection.
towards well, looking at people's rights. I mean, the right, just the right to vote that we're fighting so desperately for.
Which is
You know,
really crazy to me that in this day and age, you have to
we
sign a
still
bill
right,
so I can vote.
right, right,
It makes no
absolutely
sense.
right.
Now, there's some good things that are happening that we
Okay,
took some
good
they
news, good news. Come on with the
yeah
good
they
news.
took they made it harder for police officers to sexually assault prisoners.
Okay,
They put that forward and it passed.
okay,
They did some gave mothers and children more protections in the law.
okay,
Um, so
Is this against domestic violence
Mhm.
or
Trafficking, domestic violence, and sexual abuse. And
okay,
they're providing more services to women that need it. So
okay,
there's some good bills out there. Some
okay.
very good bills happened this session.
Now,
It,
I'm curious about a bill about children, that children are taken away from parents in this state more than any other state in the country. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I knew we were the
Uh,
number one state for child abuse.
yes. And all of they were just, I don't know if it was a lack of a thorough investigations that most of these children, because of the child abuse, that they would remove from their homes. Um, that was something that was supposed to be going forth in the legislature to put some protections on that system, or the process in which someone can just come and take a child away
Yeah.
from them if they have not thoroughly investigated that home.
Yeah. This is a short session. It's a 30-day session. So it's
Okay.
supposed to be a short year. And
Okay.
so that we've gotten as many bills through as we have is amazing. But I am proud to say that I was trying to think off the top of my head a couple of bills that have to do with that. They did pass.
Okay.
And now the governor just has to sign them. But there are a lot of good bills. I don't want anyone to hear that nothing good happened this session. There's some good things that happened. Just the things that concern me are the things that sort of upset the balance of our government, like telling the governor that he only has emergency powers to handle emergencies for
Right.
30 days at a time. That's not the way this works.
No.
The pandemic has been a year. Are you saying that we have to come back and
And it
vote?
might be a year longer
Right. And
till everybody gets vaccinated.
he's the only full-time officer of this state. We are part-time legislators. So he has to have the power to respond for the good of Kentucky. And in fact, Kentucky was a model of how we responded to COVID.
Right. Because it took us a long time. We were at the bottom in the color bracket. We stayed at the bottom for a very long time, you know.
So
So, well, I just want to know. I don't want to hold you up, but I have appreciated your time. Is there anything else that you would like to say to the community, um, from the seat where you sit? What it
yeah,
is that what you're trying to do for them, what you want to make happen, or just the floor is yours.
thank you. I, what I really want to say, if I could just open up everybody's head and pour it in, I would want people to know that we have everything it takes to make this world work, not only for us, but for everyone. I
Right.
don't buy into that we are not enough
Right.
because I've been across the world. I've seen all kinds of people. I've spoken before thousands of people, and I am clear that most of the people in my community could be right where I'm sitting right now because it takes just a commitment. You don't have to lose 10 pounds. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to go to Harvard. I serve with a number of people in this legislature that are everyday people just out to make a difference. And we can do that too. So I would encourage anyone, get involved. Let's take back our communities. Let's clean up our communities. And let's do whatever gift God has given us. Let's use it for the good of humanity so that we can be the generation that makes this world works for everybody
That brings about the change.
and brings about that thing which makes the families thrive. The changes, we can do it. It's got to be committed to it.
Representative Paula Stevenson, I thank you so much, my sister. You
Thank
carry
you.
yourself with such grace and presence, and uh, you represent us well. And am so. This is our first meeting.
Have me back anytime. I am in love.
Well, I will have you back, and I'll have you back when we having dinner, so we can really chew the fat.
Thank
I
you.
thank you so much. Have a blessed weekend. Take care of
Okay.
yourself.
Bye
Okay.
bye.
Just call me if you need us. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay,
Okay.
darling. Thank you.
Bye.
I want you to stay on for a minute and then
Okay.
so I can talk to you. Okay. Well, that was our conversation with State Representative Pamela Stevenson. Pamela took over Charles Booker's seat. That used to be Representative Darrell Owens' seat. And, I know most of her constituency in this city is very proud to have her represent us. We need voices that are not afraid to speak up, voices that believe in humanity, and are there to fight the good fight, like John Lewis said, because it's a good fight. We've got to continue to fight this good fight on a daily basis. And I want to acknowledge this weekend as being the anniversary of the death of Breonna Taylor. It's a sad situation that we still haven't gotten no justice for the young lady. It's been a debacle of her whole case. It's a misuse of justice, miscarriage of justice, as they say. That her death has not been avenged in a political or justified manner, because there was no justification for it. And we will continue to say her name, Breonna Taylor, and her mother. Our hearts go out to her mother and their family, and to Kenneth Walker, her boyfriend. He was in love with her. So I send them my condolences. I send them my love, and I give them my support. And on that note, I'd like to say, guess who's coming to dinner? Bon appetit. See you on Monday.